establish its identity. In part A, we got tangent theta plus cosine theta over 1 plus sine theta, that is equal to secant theta. So obviously the left hand side is more complicated, so we want to start with the left hand side, and let me write that here, left hand side. Now since the second fraction cosine sine, let's change tangent into sine and cosine, and we know that tangent is sine over cosine. This is sine over cosine theta plus cosine theta over 1 plus sine theta. Now we need to combine these two fractions, for we need common denominator. Okay, 1 plus sine theta is a block, and here is cosine theta, so we want to multiply second fraction by cosine theta over cosine theta, and we want to multiply first fraction by this quantity, so block 1 plus sine theta, so 1 plus sine theta over 1 plus sine theta. Then we have the LCD, 1 plus sine theta cosine theta, 1 plus sine theta, this quantity, cosine theta. Okay, and on the top we have 1 plus sine theta times sine theta. So 1 plus sine theta is a block, so we need to distribute from behind, so sine theta times 1, that's sine theta, plus sine theta times sine theta is square, which is sine square theta, plus we multiply cosine theta times cosine theta, that's cosine theta quantity square, which is cosine square theta. Now once we combine two fractions, we always work on the top, we leave the bottom alone, just work on the top for now. Here we got sine square plus cosine square, and we know the famous formula, so this is 1, sine square plus cosine square is 1, that leaves sine theta plus 1 on the top over 1 plus sine theta quantity times cosine theta. Okay, sine theta plus 1, 1 plus sine theta, they are the same. If we put the parentheses around, then this is same as 1 plus sine theta, as a block 1 plus sine theta, 1 plus sine theta, we can cancel those. Now that leaves 1 over cosine, 1 over cosine, and the reciprocal of cosine is secant theta, and that's the right hand side. Okay, let's move to the next problem. We start from the left hand side, and we got two fractions, so we need to combine these two fractions. So let me rewrite this left hand side, 1 minus cosine theta over sine theta plus sine theta over 1 minus cosine theta. By the way, 1 minus cosine theta is a block, so let's put the parentheses around. Now let's take the LCD. The LCD would be sine theta times quantity this. To make common denominator, we multiply second fraction by the bottom of the first, which is sine theta, so sine theta over sine theta. In the left hand side, we multiply this fraction by 1 minus cosine, so 1 minus cosine is a block, by the way, over 1 minus cosine, and we can put 1 minus cosine as a block here. Now we have the common denominator, which is 1 minus cosine theta quantity times sine theta. Okay, now we just simplify the top. On the top we have 1 minus cosine theta times 1 minus cosine theta, same thing, that means we need to multiply this by this. Okay, so let's multiply 1 minus cosine theta by itself, that means just FOIL 1 times 1, 1 times cosine, negative cosine times 1, negative cosine times negative cosine, that gives 1 times 1 1, 1 minus cosine theta minus cosine theta minus cosine theta times 1 minus cosine theta minus minus plus cosine square theta. Okay, and plus this plus sign, let's multiply here. Sine theta times sine theta is sine square theta. Okay, let's simplify the top. So whenever we combine two fractions, we need to keep working on the top, and eventually we factor the top if possible and cross out the common factors from the top and the bottom. So let's simplify. Here is cosine square plus sine square, and we know that this is just 1. Then this plus 1 and 1 is 2, and minus cosine theta minus cosine theta, so minus 2 cosine theta over 1 minus cosine theta times sine theta. Okay, we keep working on the top. 2 minus 2 cosine theta, we can factor 2 out. Why? When it factors out, how does that help? Then we have 1 minus cosine theta, that cancels with the bottom. Okay, do not cancel anything. Let's factor 2 out on the top. 1 minus cosine theta over 1 minus cosine theta times sine theta. Now we can cancel 1 minus cosine theta is a block here, and that is same as now 2 over sine. Let's look at the right hand side. We are supposed to get 2 cosecant theta. Cosecant means 1 over sine, so we can write this as 2 nothing means 1 over sine theta, and 2 1 over sine is cosecant theta, and that's what we have in the right hand side. Okay, final.